Hello Detective Society and welcome to my first ever video update. I've decided to start doing a video each month to tell you a bit about what I am doing, what I'm writing, and most importantly, what I am reading. So, to start off, I'm going to tell you about what I've been doing. And as you probably already know, I've been working really hard the last month on revising my book, The Guggenheim Mystery. Now, The Guggenheim Mystery is the first book I've ever written that isn't actually about Daisy and Hazel. Instead, it is the sequel to this book here, called The London Eye Mystery by an author called Siobhan Dowd. Now, Siobhan Dowd very sadly couldn't write the sequel herself, but the estate have asked me to do it for her. And so I am writing the sequel currently, and it will be out in August, and I'm loving it so much. It's set in New York. It's a contemporary mystery. It's set in 2007. It's a totally different thing. It's not even a murder mystery. It's an art heist, but it is of course still a mystery. And so I'm having a great time trying to make up a really, really twisty problem for you to solve. I have just finished working on that, and this month is all about a book called Cream Buns and Crime. Now, Cream Buns and Crime is about Daisy and Hazel. It is about the Detective Society, and it is set in that world, but it's my first book of short stories. Two of the short stories, The Case of the Blue Violet and The Case of the Deep Dean Vampire, already exist as ebook short stories separately on the internet, but a lot of you asked if they could be made into a paperback, and we have been able to grant your wish, and we are binding up those two stories, plus one very old story called The Case of Lavinia's Missing Tie, which I wrote a long time ago, and then two totally new stories, and lots of tips and puzzles and codes for you to crack. It's going to be the perfect companion book, and that is coming out in April. And actually, the story I've just been working on is one that is particularly fun for this time of the year. It's about the other side of the Detective Society, because when I was writing the fifth book, Mistletoe and Murder, a couple of my fans wrote to me and said, well, what happens to Kitty and Beanie while Daisy and Hazel are off in Cambridge having their Christmas adventure? And I thought about that, and I decided to write it. And the answer to that you will find in my story, The Case of the Missing Bun Break. Now on to the next part, which is what I have been reading. And I have 5 books that I have been reading or I will be reading this month. And unsurprisingly, a lot of them are Christmas themed. So, the first one actually is one of the ones that isn't Christmas themed. And this is a book that I read recently, and I think you'll love it if you love my books, and I think you'll also love it if you have been to see the new Harry Potter film, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Fantastic Beasts is wonderful, and I love the idea of caring for magical creatures. So this book, called The Apprentice Witch by James Nichol, I think you will love if, like me, you love animals, you love magic, and you love a bit of mystery. This book is about a witch called Arianwen who fails her assessment and is sent to this little town in the woods, basically. Not where she was hoping to go, but this little town is full of lots of interesting magical creatures, and Arianwen has to find them, help them out, and solve a little bit of a mystery about herself and about the town. It's fantastic, it's lovely, and I think you'll really like it. It's for about the same age group that my books are for. It's for 8+. So that was my first choice, and my next choice is for slightly older readers. It is a book called The Sun is Also a Star, and I'm sorry I don't seem to have my copy of the book to hand. We have so many books in this house that I sometimes can't find them all, and my actual copy has gone missing somewhere. But this is the lovely front cover of The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. It is a YA novel, so I would say probably for 13, 14+, but it's a romance. It's about a girl, a Jamaican girl, who finds out that her and her family, they live in New York and they're about to be deported. And on the last day that she is in New York, before that flight takes off, she goes out and she meets a wonderful Korean-American boy, and it is love at first sight. They fall for each other and have a wonderful romance in a single day. And it's a beautiful book. It's so well written. It's really romantic and fun and exciting. But I also think it's a book that's very important right now. It is all about people who are immigrants, whose families have come to the country quite recently. And that is something you don't see often in books. And I think it's really, really important that we write about it, we talk about it, and we see that those people are people too, and they deserve to have stories written about them. So those are my 2 books that I will be giving to people for Christmas. And now I'm going to move on to some books that I will be reading over Christmas. The first book is this. This is Winter Magic, and it is a short story anthology. I worked on a short story anthology called Mystery and Mayhem last year, and doing it made me realize how much I love short stories, how much I loved reading them when I was younger, and how much I enjoy them today. It's so lovely to be able to dive into a little world in each story, to start and finish it all in one go. And this book is exciting because it's so Christmassy, as you can see by the beautiful cover, beautiful end papers. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous book, very nicely illustrated. It's also exciting because I love a lot of the authors in this book. One of my fellow Crime Club members, Catherine Woodfine, is in it. Some of my favorite authors, Abby Elphinstone, Emma Carroll, are there too, Piers Torday. It is an amazing list of really talented authors, and I think you will love this. I'm excited about it. I've been saving it for December, and now I can finally dive in. And the next book I'm going to talk about is also an anthology of short stories. I'm really into short stories, obviously, this Christmas, but this is an anthology of short stories for people who are maybe a little bit older. This is I'll Be Home for Christmas, and if Winter Magic was an anthology of all the best middle grade writers at the moment, this is an anthology of all the best YA, young adult authors at the moment. It is has been written in association with Crisis, which is a charity that works with the UK's homeless population, especially teenagers. And again, there are some fantastic authors in this book. Some of my very favorites: Lisa Williamson, Non Pratt, Katie Cannon. It's so exciting, and I think you're really, really going to like it. Again, I'm about to dive in, and I can't wait. And finally, I have decided to always finish my book recommendations with a classic mystery novel that I think you will love to read. And this month, it really couldn't be anything else but Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie. Now, this is a really, really old edition. I don't think it's in print anymore. You're gonna have to go out and find a different looking one. But remember the title and remember the author, because this is the book that if you have read and loved Mistletoe and Murder, you need to read. This is Agatha Christie's really Christmassy family mystery. It is quite exciting, quite shocking, really puzzling and amazing, and I just love it. It definitely influenced my books, and I think this is the one that you should read to get you into the Christmas spirit this year. And now I'm going to finish by talking about one more thing. I decided I'm always going to talk about something else that isn't bookish that I'm really enjoying right now. And because it is Christmas, as you can see, I'm very into advent calendars at the moment. I have 3 in the house, and I've been looking a lot online. And although there are a lot of really great ones online, there is not a single one that is quite as great as Dogvent. Now, Dogvent is something that some of my friends do with their dog Buffy. Buffy has her own little Instagram name, Buffy the dog, and every day for Dogvent, she is dressed up in another really nerdy, really hilarious outfit. She is such a good dog. She just sits there and just looks at the camera. She's absolutely adorable, and I think you will love Dogvent. Just search for the hashtag Dogvent on Instagram. So, Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you have a fantastic festive season. If you are reading Mistletoe and Murder, I hope you enjoy it. If you have read it, do please email me and tell me what you think of it. Have a wonderful, wonderful year, and I will see you in January.